Is it his time? Yes!
All right, we are back. It is the wonderful trio of Cameron, TL2 Lousy here, and JL Justin. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Fantastic. How are you, sir? Sirs? Both sirs?
Don't assume our genders, okay? I'm doing great. Justin, I
You can assume
know
mine all
you
want. I will go by sir any day of the week. Cam can take that.
Justin, I think we should kick this podcast off because a lot of people can probably relate to your day that you've had today. Was sitting on tarmac for several hours. This is a golf podcast, but Justin and I travel for work quite a bit, and so he's got a nice little story for us to
I hope people can't relate to this. Are you serious? Getting to the airport at 4:15 in the morning and then sitting on the tarmac until 9:45? I hope no one went through that, especially today. That would suck if there's more than two of us out there. So
well, there's like 250 of you on the plane. You said, wasn't there?
Yeah, 230 angry ass people just ready to rage.
Do you think they listen to the podcast?
You know what? That would have been a perfect time to do a little bit of marketing research. Just share it out to everyone. Tell everyone to listen to it we could have listened to every episode we've done so far with the amount of time we stood there.
That's true. It's like, what did you listen to while you were sitting on this airplane for 4.5 hours? Well, you should have listened to this, and you just completely biffed it. Thanks, Justin.
I guess I can't be chief marketing officer anymore. Dang it.
He's out.
Totally missed it.
The Great Bogey Podcast is hiring for a chief marketing officer as of right now. So
yeah.
All right. So today we're going to recap our picks from the CJ Cup, LIV Singapore at Sentosa. We're going to talk about the Wells Fargo Championship, RIP Ludwig Abe Oberg's knee.
Breaking news.
And then we're going to, breaking news as of like 4 hours ago. Let's start with the CJ Cup. Our picks were the cut line, what the cut was going to be. We picked an outright winner, and then we also picked dead last. Teddy, remind us what your picks were for the PGA Tour CJ Cup.
So my alternate, so for a cut, I think I had 3 under. I want to say
you were 2 under for the cut.
2 under. Okay, so missed that. Then I had Maverick McNeely to win. He wasn't really close. I mean, he made the cut. He played okay. He just didn't really make any waves. And then I had Sung Kang to be my loser of the week, who was on fire. I watched when I turned it on Saturday. He was on like his 15th or 16th hole. He was already like 7 under at the time, just absolutely destroying the course. Ended up shooting 63, was in the hunt. I think he ended up like maybe 13 or 14 under before the leader started to tee off. And he was like tied for 3rd. So, I didn't feel great about any of my picks after that. So
let's make it known to the listeners that Teddy's dead last pick finished better than his winner.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a second. I think Sung Kang actually finished better than Maverick McNeely.
Yeah, I mean, he might have. They're still reviewing some of the shots. But
yeah, I heard people were calling in some, possible penalties on Sung Kang.
Correct. So he might have gotten DQ'd. I don't know. I think they're still talking about it. But
Wednesday afternoon DQ.
Tom Hyde in the chat said he picked the winner. I doubt that, but he is gone.
No, he did. He did. Tom and I are in a pool. Basically like a lottery pool.
He picked Taylor Pendrith.
Yes, he put $10 on Taylor Pendrith.
How much? We
also had Jake Knapp as well. I had McNeely. I can't remember exactly who else we had. There's 6 of us that were in the pool, and it was a pretty solid showing. Finally,
dude, Jake Knapp's got some ball speed.
Correct.
Mini driver, 186 mile per hour ball speed. And it
looks like he's just kind of slapping at it.
Yeah, he's like Ernie Els. He's like a big easy with like just crazy ball speed. Like on I watched him tee off on Saturday with the lead in the final group. Hits that little cut, but it's like hits big ball first and just takes a divot and still hits it 270 yards. I was like, all right, that'll be interesting.
Yep. So long story short, when it comes to Lousy Hair's picks, he did not get a point for the PGA Tour event at all. Because we're going to be keeping track of these season long, starting at the CJ Cup. Moving forward, we have yet to determine what the winner gets from the other two. As we know, we will reveal it. So I'll go through my picks. I had picked Martin Trainer to finish last. I had the cut at 4 under, and I had picked Jason Day to be the outright winner. Jason Day had like a decent first day, kind of struggled the second day, and he actually had like a 30-foot putt to make the cut, which he drained at 6 under, which the cut was 6 under. From there, over the next 2 days, I think he was only 3 or 4 under par, kind of a little lackluster showing from him on the weekend. But that being said, I ended up getting closest to the cut at 4 under with -6 being the actual cut. And then Martin Trainer also, out of our 3 picks, was closest to dead last. I think he was +4 or 5 on the cut. So 2 points Cam.
Good job, Cam.
For the PGA Tour. That's the only thing I won this weekend. So
yeah,
I'm riding that wave, baby.
Every bet I made on DraftKings was like just not winning. But I did so I picked Adam Scott, which after the first day, I thought this might have been the worst pick ever. But he came back to actually make a ton of birdies in a row on that third day. So I think that Adam Scott was the top pick out of our like winning picks, right? Sweet. So I got points.
Yeah, I think he was like 15 under. I think he beat like a Sung Kang would be Teddy's closest. But
yeah.
He beat like Mav McNeely, I think, by 4 strokes.
I think maybe you guys misheard me, and I actually said Sung Kang to finish.
To win.
Win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, if you could go back to last podcast and double check for us, that'd be great. Someone at Tom Hyde.
I'm pretty sure we Lousy Hair was adding Maverick McNeely as he was picking him, so we could probably just go check with him. Yeah. And Brad Hopfinger, he missed the cut, so at least I had that going for me, but he was still 5 under, so he didn't like just majorly explode, which I was kind of looking forward to that. But
could you imagine, like, doing what he did, qualified on Monday in like a 3-hole playoff or whatever it was, goes out and shoots 5 under par, and it's like, yeah, you get to go home now.
Yeah.
You just spent $1,500 more than you were anticipating on the week.
Yeah.
And didn't have a chance to win a penny.
Yeah. It's a good experience. I mean, I guess they're all doing that. They were talking about, I was kind of surprised when the announcers were talking about Jake Knapp. Like, if you look at his background, this isn't like overnight success, right? Like, they were even saying he went from like Corn Ferry, almost lost his card there, went over to Canada, came back to Corn Ferry, played really good, and then now as his rookie season, he's playing really good. Even though he stumbled.
I think he did lose his Corn Ferry card like twice. I think he made it.
Yeah, and went back to Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's cool to see. I don't know if the stash just creeps me out, but I don't know. He's hitting the ball well.
He's hopefully trending in the right direction for this weekend and next, right?
Yeah. Speaking of trending in the wrong direction would be Ben Kohler. Oh my gosh, how painful was that?
It's funny. I saw the clip of it. I'm like, dude, I did that 3 times on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like,
that was just on the first hole.
He's one of us. Yeah, like that's literally within the first 4 holes. Like, I'm duffing chip after chip. Like, but do that.
To be fair, the chip wasn't really. It was a tough chip. I think for anybody. I think if you gave him 10 tries from there, he'd, 5 out of 10, he'd probably get it within 10 feet. The putt though, he was trying to make that putt for par, right?
Yeah, that would have been par, and it would have been a playoff, right?
I think that was probably worse than the chip.
I don't know, man. The chip started that domino effect, and it was just him trying to get too cute. I mean, we've all done it, right? Like you've got a bunker right in front of you, and you're like, oh, 35 yards, and I'm kind of short-sighted, and you just put it straight in the bunker, and then you're like, well, crap, all I had to do, I've got 50 yards of green behind it to putt with, but I put it in the bunker, so that's the bummer about that whole thing. Like that domino effect just screwed that hole. But Pinterest also making that putt.
Yeah.
Like 360 degrees around the cup and then just lacing a 328-yard carry drive on 18. Like, damn. All right.
Well, Kohler, he made a long birdie putt on 17 to put himself in that position.
Yeah. Yeah. 19 feet.
What did he bogey like 14 or 15? Like 15. And then then he had that birdie. I think he made a putt on 16 too, but birdied 17, and then he had a chance on 18. So I don't think it was really.
I love the shot he hit. He hit into 18 with that.
He had a clean part on Sunday.
He was the only bogey on 18 all day.
18, is that what it was? His entire bogey. He was 4 under on the front 9, and then.
Oh, that's right. He was just kind of cold on the back 9 until.
Yeah.
I think he made 1 birdie on 17 and then bogeyed on 18. I think that's
he
made
16 and 17 were birdies and then went to 18 and bogeyed. So yeah, that's absolutely brutal.
Brutal. But like I said, I duff a chip like that pretty much every 3 holes. So.
What did you shoot this weekend, Cam?
86.
Okay. Was that at Raccoon Creek?
No, it was at Plum Creek, Pete Dye course out here in Castle Rock, Colorado. It's funny because I think in hole 7, I was 2 over through 7, and I went double. Sure. Why wouldn't I? And then the same exact thing on the back 9. I think I was 3 over, and so 16, 17 are water. 16 water all down the right. Teddy, we've played golf together. I live on the right side of the course. Of course. But it was really windy and the fairways were hard. Like we were getting a lot of roll. And I hit it, that cut that happens. Hit it on the left.
Power fade.
I kicked off like a hill, like on the left side of the fairway, and just rolled all the way into the water. Then 17, wind right in our face. It's So on Saturday, I hit a pitching wedge, both 180 yards and 120 yards, full swings. So 17 was it's kind of like 17 at Sawgrass, the kind of like an island green, water all around, except for really the back. That's how you get to the green. It's not an island green. Let me preface that. Sorry. But Peninsula. I'm like, all right, 130. I'm striping the ball pretty well with my irons today for the most part. I'm like, I can get a pitching wedge 130 yards to this green. Like I was confident. I was like, there's no way I don't. Yeah, no, I think it started going backwards at one point and just went right in the water, right on line with the flag. It would have been a great shot if I had 10 more yards on it.
Another double, easy double.
Yeah, and then 18, I think I parred. So I think I had 3 doubles, and that was the story of my round. I putted pretty well. I made 2 birdies. Only had 1 3-putt. So
okay, that's not bad.
We got a couple questions real quick. Hold on.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they're just ripping on Lousy here tonight.
Yeah, wow. Does Lousy always?
They're clearly in love with the wafting hair you got going tonight, Lousy.
Think he parred 18. Thanks. My thoughts. He said, okay. We're moving on from the questions. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're going to YouTube, liking and subscribing. We're also on Spotify. Justin, how was your round this weekend?
It was good. We played a game. There's
simulator.
We can play 5. No. We can play 5 in the morning if we go out and they're all members. So the Muni lets us kind of run it in the morning, which was nice. So we played Wagon or the Wheel. They call it the Wheel. Have you ever played the Wheel?
No idea what that is.
Nope.
So it's basically 2 versus 3. And so you got 3 bets going on. So the 3 players pair up in 2 bets against those 2 players. And I was on the 3, and then 2 other buddies were what they would call the wheel, and came down to last hole on 18. We tied, we tied on 17. So one of the bets, it was we lost, and we decided to push it, and then the other bet or game was actually, I think it was either tied or they had like, we were 1 up on them, and pushed it, and I hit driver, like total just toe job driver. Thought it was complete shit, but because it was so shitty, it didn't go in the water, and one of the other guys went in the water. I hit 6 iron from like, I think I was 190 with some wind, put it to like 12 feet on a par 5. And then the other guy, I felt so bad for him. He hit a great drive, and he's like, I'm going to put this close. This is a perfect hybrid. And he tops it into the water. I was like, damn it, man. That's the difference between you being a 10 right now and you being a 5. And then I 2-putted for birdie. And so I ended up actually winning some money this weekend instead of losing it like I thought I was going to. So
Very nice.
Putting was not my friend. I don't know what I did on like the 13th hole. I missed a like 4-foot birdie putt, and from that point forward, I was just trying to guide things in, and it turned into a 79 real quick, which I was pretty disappointed with.
How many putts did you
It's
have?
pretty bad.
39. Yeah.
Still broke 80 though. Breaking 80 with 39 putts is.
Yeah. I mean, my ball striking's right
pretty
there.
good.
So like,
yeah,
I just need to keep my head in the game when it comes to putting. So, but
Wheel
is a super fun game.
Well, do you think it's because you were too close on some of those looks, or was your proximity just not very good?
My daughter's doing PGA Junior League, and she is at she kind of got recruited a little bit to play at this club in town.
Mm-hmm.
So we go over there every Friday and Saturday, and so anytime I can sneak on those greens, they're like the best greens in town, but they're already rolling like 10 11s, and they're smooth. And so I went over there and putted for, I don't know, like an hour on Friday, and then putted for like 20 minutes on Saturday, and then got to my course, which is a Muni, and it's rolling like 9, if that, 8, and it's bumpy as all shit because they haven't like mowed or rolled, and so it was just all over the place. So I'll figure it out. And part of it was me just being a loser and going, yep, this is 5 feet and I'm gonna totally miss it for birdie, and I called it. I'm like, yeah, that's a par. Can we just go to the next hole? And I had pretty much given up, so that sucked. I gotta stop doing that.
Why do you think you go to like that mentality?
I was just so defeated after missing two like within 5-foot birdie putts. It was brutal. So
you could have shot like 75, 74 if you didn't go down that road.
I know.
Mental toughness.
No, I gotta read that book on mental toughness.
Which book?
I don't know. There's probably a lot out
there. There's probably quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody want to @ Andy Frisella? Did I do that right, Lousy Hair? Did that the @?
Yeah. Well, you gotta like pick up just @
Yeah.
You got it.
So Justin shot 79 with a million putts.
Yeah.
I think my putt count was 32 on
taken that
Saturday. Lousy Hair, did you play this weekend?
I did not. I was actually watching the horse races, the pony races on Saturday, and then catching up on golf Sunday. I did play Thursday. I'm in a weekly men's league. It was our 3rd match, 9 holes. It's a net game, which I'm already screwed at that point. And we're 0-3 so far, so long season ahead for us. But I'll let you guys. So 2 weeks ago, I shot
Is it 2-man teams?
Yeah, what's
Two-man
the
team.
game?
It's 2-man teams, best ball, net.
Okay.
My buddies.
Are you the best golfer like in the league or one of?
So I didn't know this, but they based everybody off my handicap. So they made me a 0 and then adjusted everybody else from there. It's flighted and everything. So I mean, it's kind of
still with
decent
golfers
I'm
who
still,
aren't popping too much.
But the decent golfers are like 4s and 5s, and they'll shoot even. So I'm screwed.
Yeah.
But so 2 weeks ago, I shot like 1 or 2 under. Why don't you guys guess what I shot last week?
Well, he's 0-3 and lost when he shot.
I'm
2
0-3.
under.
Yeah, correct.
I'm going 6 over.
6 over. Okay, Cam.
I don't think like in the few years I've known Teddy, TL2, Lousy Hair, the CEO, I don't think I've ever heard him shoot 80. Like I think he's consistently sub 80.
I've shot 80. I've shot low 80s a couple times.
Okay,
but yeah, usually it's low to mid.
I think you went low and still lost. I'm gonna say you're 3 under.
So I shot 42, probably for the first time in a very long time.
So you were gonna shoot 80 that day. Is what you're saying.
It's possible. It's tough because it's a Thursday evening. Like I leave work a little early and get there, change into some shorts, put the golf shoes on, and then it's a shotgun start. So we're heading out to whatever hole. So it's a little tough because first I'm sitting in traffic the whole time. It takes me like 30 to 40 minutes to get there. And there's always like a backup. So I'm freaking out thinking I'm going to be late.
Not going to make it.
Yeah. So I'm already kind of amped up. Once I actually get there, then, there's a line to pay because everybody else is trying to pay. So I'm freaking out like, hey, we got to like hurry up and get to our hole. And then it's just
terrible mindset going into a round of golf.
It's terrible. It's 9 holes. So like usually I'll start off pretty slow. And then, I'll shoot a couple over on the front and then maybe even or a couple under on the back. I got nothing on these, 9
the wheels came off on your drive too.
The wheels are off before I even pulled in the parking lot. In the first hole, we were starting on like a par 4, a little dogleg right. And I hit it into the face of a bunker. I'm already like, okay, great. I got to like hit it out sideways. I skull it across the fairway. Like now I'm in the trees. Okay, great. So I find I have a little gap. I'm like, okay, I can just kind of hit this through the trees. Chunk that, barely get out of the trees. I'm still screwed. Now I got like a tight pin. All right, let me just try to get it up and down and make 5.
6. Yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah. So I went like double. Had 3 doubles to start. Made a birdie somewhere in there, and then made a bogey on my last hole. We were already out of it, and I was just over it at that point. Also, it's getting dark by the time we're finishing, so it was brutal. I got to try to figure out like mentally how to approach an after work weeknight men's league. It's tough. I can't do it.
So I tried doing that last year. So last year I played almost every Thursday. But for me, the tee time was 3:00, which like our office for Cam and I, like typically by 4:00 Mountain Time, 5:00 Mountain Time, it's pretty good to go. But I would take my last call and then rush out there. And it was the hardest thing in the world for me to get out of I want to go hit like 20 balls and then walk up there. It was like, grab the stuff out of the truck, just go to the straight to first tee. And the game also switched every week. So that all of a sudden, the first time I went to the men's group, it was 3 club best ball with a partner, but you only got to carry 3 clubs. So it was like, oh shit. And I brought my entire bag. So I'm like, okay.
I would not want to be in a league where they did that. Like, that doesn't sound fun at all. I'm sorry.
It changed it up and it was kind of cool, but Yeah. I mean, at this point, I know the guy who's running it, he basically has set it up so that he wins all the time. So I'm not playing this year, nor do I want the stress of it because it honestly wasn't that enjoyable. Because like running out there and just stressing out and then finally calming down by like the 6th, 7th hole. And I'm like, well, damn it. Okay.
The tough thing about the league that I'm in, so I was under the impression that now there's skins and close to the pin and everything. So already I'm just kind of like, whatever, just make some birdies and, I'm not going to win money for the actual matches, but just win a couple skins. The skins are handicapped as well. So even like if I make a birdie or an eagle, it's that somebody else is going to make a birdie or an eagle as well.
Birdie, net eagle, or whatever. Yeah.
So it was a waste of money. I got like 10 more weeks of it. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Real quick, I want to make note. Justin called your score. He said 6-0.
He did.
So it's going to be his par 36.
Is that another point? Is that how we're doing?
No,
it should be.
Should we do between you and I, Justin? Guessing
who can guess Teddy's score every week?
Men's league score every week.
Yeah, because if he's
be
playing good, he's wearing the backwards hat. If he's playing bad, he's actually doing his hair and looking nice.
Yeah.
If I'm playing good, I'm probably gonna text you guys and
reading the CEO,
telling you.
If he starts off like rattling off 3 birdies in a row, we're gonna know about it.
Yeah, probably. You're getting pictures of the scorecard or something. So, all
right.
Hey, real quick too. We have a legend in the chat, a Hooters Tour legend. Matt Gesner has made his way in. What's up, Matt Gesner? We got Matt Allen. There's tons of Matts. So many Matts.
Oh wow, yeah.
Teddy, are you drinking Cutwater?
No, I am drinking Topo Chico seltzer water.
Okay, not as fun. All right, let's transition. I guess we got to go over to our LIV event, our picks, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Justin, who were your picks? You can't do the cut line because they don't do cuts.
Yeah. Didn't know the 72 hole leader, but we did know 54. Cam Smith, that was my winning score. And then I wanted to pick AK, but of course Teddy gets first picks on everything. Took mine. But Pat Perez put in a really, really solid effort to get DFL. I'm really proud of him. I know he dug deep that last day and really just left it all on the line.
Both those guys, both Teddy's pick and Justin's pick. So Teddy, AK, Anthony Kim, Justin, Pat Perez, they tied at second to dead last at +6 to Junichiro Kazuma, who is +8. So you guys will, I think, get a point each, yeah, for the last. Yeah. I picked Henrik Stenson, who I think it was +3 or something. Not a horrible pick, but moving forward, we decided this in our group text, right? We're going to do your pick has to be on a team because, yeah, we could say AK and one of us is going to be right every week, right?
Yeah.
So,
especially at this point, I mean, I am kind of proud of AK, the fact that he didn't get DFL this week. So, I mean, progression. I mean, he's just moving up. I really think he's going to be in there at the end of the year.
We also have to remember, he just literally got thrown into tournament golf
after 12 years of not playing golf.
He didn't even have a polo up until last week, right?
Yeah, I think he's got an apparel deal with an up and coming brand. I forget what it's called.
Isn't it?
I see it on Twitter. Yes, that's what it is.
It's that's DJ's brand? I think. I'm pretty sure.
Daniel January.
Shout out Daniel January.
Someone at Dan Jan.
That interview that he did. Who is the guy that does the announcing? The
Faraday.
Yeah, Faraday. The interview he did with Faraday. This is the biggest thing for AK for me, is that when he left the game, he was super clean cut, big fancy belt buckle, looked pretty sharp all the time. I think. I mean, at least that's what I remember of him.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you look at the pictures, and now he doesn't even tie his shoes. Did anyone else notice that?
This is not the same Anthony Kim.
I know,
There's
but like
12 years of probably heavy drug abuse of some sort, mental health issues,
Sure.
which he said on Twitter, like he has
Yeah.
struggled with mental health. Like he is not the same person as he was 12 years
Yeah.
ago. But I agree. I remember Anthony Kim the same way. Flashy, cocky, boisterous, and well dressed.
Yeah, but not even tying your shoes. I don't even get how you do that. I mean, Jordans are the hardest golf shoe to play in anyways, and you're not tying them. I don't know. It's just weird to me. But I mean, what did you guys watch all week, or not all week, the 3 rounds? Like, I mean, we were all talking about it, kind of trying to find it on what it was Friday night. We found first round on YouTube, right?
I watched through the Live Golf app
Okay, so Teddy
because
and I
it's
have
when it's
yet to go that far.
international, it's late at night, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch this and I'm gonna fall asleep to this. Like golf's super easy to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
Especially like if it's at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But I watch probably like an hour at least of each day.
I threw up YouTube at like the 7, 8 o'clock range, whatever, to watch some of it. But the third round you couldn't find. But my biggest question on the LIV piece, like you've got a B tournament going on, like the CJ Cup. I mean, you don't have big names there, right? So this was an actual chance for LIV to have something going on in the States and compete, right? Like, couldn't they have had stateside and compete with them and be like, oh, this is what I want to watch? Because if you look at the leaderboard, man, I wanted to watch those guys just like crush it.
I know what you're getting at. But if you recall Teddy's fun fact that he had for us last week as to why they went back to Singapore,
Yes.
I don't think the U.S. tourism department is throwing millions and millions of dollars at LIV Golf to come and play.
I know, but doesn't it become a point where like, oh, shouldn't they be competing for rankings and ratings? I mean, the TV ratings of golf is going down, period. I mean, I bet there's 4 people out of the 10 that are in the comments right now that maybe watched the PGA event.
I'd like to go ahead and say we actually have 13 people watching right now. It's bounced between 10 to 18.
Okay, so
but I agree
watch.
with your number. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just
it's probably less, to be honest with you. We're probably 3 of 5 people who have watched any of it.
I mean, I think I agree with Justin. I think it was a little tough. In theory, the timing is pretty good because it was starting at what, like 9:30?
Yeah,
your time. Yeah, it was like
9:30.
6:30 my time.
So I mean, like it kind of worked out. I know with the Derby and stuff, and like Friday there wasn't a lot going on, just like with the NBA playoffs and stuff. Like some of the series were already kind of over. There were just a couple games, so it kind of worked out for them. I don't know if they've released the total viewership yet. But the way the third round ended up playing out, I mean, they couldn't have asked for a better ending, right? Cam Smith got hot. He was going crazy.
When he chipped in, I think it was on his like 4th to last hole. I'm like, he's going to end up winning this. Like, he's coming in hot. Like
Leishman got hot. And I mean,
the Rippers go back to back on the team aspect.
Yeah,
I mean, that's huge.
So I mean, they ended up, it ended up being pretty exciting. I think if there were a couple halfway recognizable names for somebody that watches more than just a few PGA Tour events a year, it would have been really good the way it all kind of played out. But nobody. I mean, okay, Tom Hyde picked Pinterest, but like not that many other people were. It's not a household name. Same thing with Ben Coles. Jake Knapp was kind of a hot name right now, only because
he won earlier in the year.
Yeah, and for an avid, somebody that's kind of paying attention to some of the tournaments, that's somebody you at least recognize. So it was a little tough. I thought LIV was a little bit better than the PGA Tour this week. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
The LIV leaderboard was significantly better, but they also had they have smaller fields. Don't get me wrong, but they also had their big name players in the mix.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen every week for them. you have Brendan Steele winning Adelaide, right? Like who cares about Brendan Steele winning? But this week, you Koepka taking it by 2 strokes, which is huge for him because he's coming into the PGA Championship off a win. Absolutely dialed. Some of the shots he was hitting on Sunday in Singapore were just flat out impressive. And like you said, you had Mark Leishman, very recognizable name, Cam Smith. Taylor Gooch, he was 4th, solo 4th.
Hatton was playing well too. I mean, a bunch of guys were.
Terrell Hatton, Dustin Johnson, Joaquin, even Kevin Na is very recognizable from his time on the PGA Tour and going viral last week at Adelaide for like throwing a hissy fit in the trees.
Been there. I did that Thursday.
I would agree that LIV was the more entertaining one. But that being said, the tour had a bumpy finish, right? It had an interesting, turn of events on the last hole, but it was the last hole, that made it exciting.
But that's what I mean. The PGA Tour needs this. Like we need. I mean, as much as we love. I mean, I love watching Scotty. It's boring golf, but I love to watch someone like just play that high level. Like we need some battles. Like some people just going at it, going back and forth. Like we need the Masters from 2 years ago with John Rahm and Brooks going back and forth. Like we need some of those things for the PGA Tour right now because it's just, I mean, hopefully we get it this week because Scotty's not at the Wells Fargo, right? So he's sitting out.
They still have their star players, coming in because it's a signature event. So there's going to be a strong field.
It's kind of like LIV 2.0 because it's 72 holes and no cut and just a ass ton of money.
Yeah.
$20 million purse, 3.6 to the winner. That's same thing as LIV.
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but like when you're talking about like just exciting golf, like I think the US Open this year is going to be something. I think it's probably going to be the best major of the year, being at Pinehurst number 2. Because I mean, the last time I was there, Martin Keimer, he played well. And everyone else kind of struggled, which is what they wanted, right? They wanted mayhem. They wanted people to not be able to stay on the green really at any point in time.
That's what they do for every U.S. Open. That's like that's the MO. Like, let's make it as deep and as rock hard as possible.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the U.S. Open.
Well, and also Taylor Gooch is in the field.
Yeah.
As well.
The PGA Championship, breaking news as of like 8 hours ago, Taylor Gooch has gotten an invite from the PGA.
Taylor without a Y.
Taylor without a Y. That's the most annoying part about him. No asterisk on the PGA Championship. I'll be honest, I didn't realize he was solo 4th this week at LIV. So he's also coming.
He was playing well too.
Yeah,
he's been playing good all year actually.
Does anybody want to add him to their early pick list for?
No, because if you watched the content that I create for this brand, Teddy, you would know that I said he's going to miss the cut.
Okay, well, there's two other people on this podcast. I don't know
what our brand is, Lousy Hair, but we'll figure it out. Cam can have his brand, I guess.
This is all of our brand. Hey, real quick, Joe Derby in the comments, he says Cam predicts the top 3 players to win. He obviously doesn't listen to every podcast because my way too early pick for the PGA Championship was Ricky Fowler.
Jordan Spieth. Oh, right.
No, remember we figured out last pod he's never putting money on Jordan Spieth ever again.
Correct. Well, that's good for Jordan's career. And Cam's
I want to make it known the last time Jordan and I hung out in person, he was tied for 6th at the Waste Management Open.
You guys were walking hand in hand down the fairway, right?
Yeah, check the profile picture, guys.
Yeah.
All right?
Hand in handle, but yeah.
We knew it was going to come in there. Actually,
I had him cupped.
I was actually, if you didn't bring up Waste Management, I was going to, because we have to go like every podcast in a row of talking about the Waste Management. But like you said,
I want to make it known to the listeners, I'm ready to move on from the Waste Management. Justin keeps bringing it up.
No, so Singapore, you mentioned like the tourism, right? Well, the Waste Management was Las Vegas. Why in the hell was LIV competing against Las Vegas, the Waste Management in Las Vegas? Like, have Las Vegas during this week, have Singapore during Waste Management, and then we can all actually enjoy the golf.
Why have a competing tournament for the weight? Like, why would they even think
But that's what I'm
about
saying.
scheduling
Like
it?
they could have had it, some far off land instead of
They
Las
play
Vegas.
8 times a year, and they decided one of them, the best time was to do it during the Waste Management Open.
Yeah, which that probably has the highest viewer ratings of almost any tournament. So that was my point earlier.
Yeah. I mean, I think we could summarize Justin's thoughts on LIV PGA. LIV sucks, is what he's saying. So
no, I actually like it. I've said this multiple times. I think the team thing's cool. I will never say like, oh my gosh, Rippers versus Fireballs was badass. Like that's never coming out. Like I can't even say the Fireball name without laughing at it. But I think the team thing is cool. They just don't play into it enough. Like they need to like dig into the team piece because like it would be kind of fun to be like, oh yeah, I actually bought some Range Goats apparel, right? Like
I feel like the Fireballs just came out of nowhere to finish tied for second on the team aspect.
Somehow they figured
they were like nowhere near the leaderboard when I was watching, like with 5-6 holes left.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. So
picks for the Wells Fargo, or what are we doing?
Yeah. So Wells Fargo is going to be interesting. I thought it was a shorter course, but I was telling Teddy I thought it was 7,100. Then I found out it's 7,500 yards, par 71. There's so many like little tricky holes and shots, but there is a drivable par 4, and then there's a 506-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's nothing to these guys though.
Yeah, they'll have
you know what I mean,
180, 190 in. Yeah,
but I think it's going to play
9-iron 180. Like it's
going to play a lot like the Masters, where it's like that 150 to 175 yard shot's actually going to be played instead of the 70 to 100 yard shot. You
guys will get a kick out of this question in the chat. Matt Allen goes, "Is that copper fit, Cam?"
An avid listener, Matt Allen. Thank you.
He knows at Copperfit.
At Matt Allen at Copperfit. Thank you.
Matt, could you get us in touch with their reps, please? We're looking for a sponsorship for socks.
So Matt has some experience caddying on the KFT.
Earlier in the chat, he said, "Let's talk about the Corn Ferry Tour," and I just completely ignored it. So
sorry, shout out, Matt. That's a good idea.
He was at June Jam, right?
No, he was not.
No, I thought there was a Matt Allen at June Jam. Maybe not. Okay, back to the Wells Fargo. 7,500 yards. I think they had some green work done, right? And my understanding of the course is like it's a little snug. It's not like you can really miss off the tee like a lot of PGA Tour courses, right?
Yep.
Thick rough.
So thick rough. I believe there's a creek kind of going through a few of the holes, shortening the guys off the tee.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, this is the same tournament where it was Bryson and Patrick Cantlay, right? In like a 3-4 hole playoff, just trading blows.
Yep.
That was a good tournament. Then Bryson, jumped ship. He's now a Saudi guy.
It's kicked off two of my favorite golfers. I'm going to go Homa in 2022 is the champ, and then Wyndham in 2023. Kicked kind of their careers into fast gear.
Yeah, so I guess Wyndham won 2023.
Yeah.
And then he went and won the U.S. Open, right? And that was his year last year. And
then one is at Pebble Beach as the signature event. He's cashed in on signature events, even though Pebble Beach was 54 holes.
Oh yeah, because of the rains and the winds.
The weather. Yep.
Yeah, the weather. Yep. I'm kind of 50-50 on Wyndham Clark for some reason. He kind of likes. It seems like he wants to play some sort of villain when he's in his interviews, right? Like he wants people kind of maybe not be in his camp. But he's a very good golfer. He's from Denver, where I live.
Shout out Denver.
Somebody at Denver Tourism.
And he played for the Oregon Ducks golf team for a year,
and that's why Justin likes him.
That's why I like him. So.
Yeah.
I just like him because he has a huge fade and he hits it like 330, 340.
He is so long.
Yeah. People forget. They don't talk about his length enough.
Yeah. And he
is that why he won the U.S. Open? Like how did he? If you guys remember, I don't really recall like Los Angeles Country Club, but was his length a
I mean,
deciding
length
factor?
certainly helps,
was-
and I think most of the time, I mean, one, being able to work the ball left to right most of the time is, it's going to make the course a little bit easier. And he hits a high ball as well, so even if there's something over there on the left side, he can just rip it over it and cut it back into the fairway. So I think it's the same thing with DJ when he kind of got on that run, and kind of why he's had Dustin Johnson, not Daniel January, when they've been able to, kind of stay hot and compete for an extended period of time. They just, they feel comfortable with that cut off the tee. And
when he plays it with his driving iron too. And
Right.
he hits his driving iron.
I was gonna say he's a huge like 2-iron guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Utility iron. Yeah.
That's what he was using at the LA Country Club a lot. I mean, it was that par 4. He hit that over
Sawgrass too at the Players.
Yeah.
They use it in the 2-iron. Matt Allen said TPC Colorado probably his favorite course he's ever worked. I agree, it's a great course.
So right now, Wyndham Clark is 6th on driving distance for the PGA Tour.
Yeah, that checks out.
Who's top 5?
So you got Cameron Champ leading the way, which that seems so odd to me.
Too bad he doesn't win.
Yeah, and never places, but
he's really letting the Camerons down, if you ask me.
So he's leading at 317 yards, and then you got Chris Gotterup. Not a familiar name for me. 315. Rory.
He won last year. Gotterup.
Kevin Doherty at 313. Ben Hun On at 312, and Wyndham Clark at 312. And then you got Toasty, which is kind of interesting. I didn't know he was actually that long. He's at 312.
Oh yeah, he hits missiles.
Well, he's so mad at the ball all the time too. Like he's just an angry guy. So
do you think?
The ball, his caddies.
Minwoo Lee went up this week from 10th to 8th with a broken finger. It's kind of funny to think about that. So
Matt Allen says KFT vets. I think everybody just listed off there pretty much besides Rory.
Pretty much, yeah. But you got all of those coming into this week. You got Rory, which he won 4 years ago. So I guess this is where we have to make our picks.
Well, let's make our picks. So let's go through. Let's do cut line first. Where do we think the cut line is going to be? Justin, do you have the historical data to show where the cut line has been in the past, or at least winners?
I'll find it.
Cam, why don't you pick your cut line first?
I'll pick my cut line first since I got it right last time.
Yeah,
got it.
There you go.
I'm gonna go 3 under par.
Okay.
Pretty aggressive. So Wyndham won,
but I don't think the spread's gonna be like as much as it probably was this past week. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's gonna be a lot of stacked. It's not gonna be like guys are at 15 under going into Saturday.
So is there like weather that I wasn't remembering from like 23 to 22? Because Wyndham won last year at 19 under, and then Homa won, but he was only 9 or 8 under. That's a huge difference. And then Rory won the year before at 10. Well, and then Homa was the year before that at 15.
Homa's won it twice.
Yeah. And then Jason Day was 12. So I guess there was only a couple of years where it was under 10 under par.
Scores are only getting lower too. So they're historically probably going to trend just getting lower and lower. So I'll stick with 3 under par. Justin, put that in the spreadsheet.
Yes, sir.
Somebody at Excel.
COO. What are you taking, Lousy Hair?
Well, I don't want to take your pick. But so I'm gonna go. It is a strong field. I'm gonna go 1 under. I don't think it's gonna get. I think there's gonna be a few guys that are going relatively deep, and I think there's gonna be a separation, from the top 10 guys or so, and
yeah, I was kind of thinking that for. I was gonna pick even, So
Even?
I was thinking just straight even was going to make the cut for him.
There's probably going to be a few guys who go like 4 under, right, to go in to the weekend 8 under par, probably as leaders, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And we'll average that out. So I'm always curious, like before these tournaments start, like what is going to be like the low round of the tournament? Because there's always, especially with the talent pool now, that like 59, 60 is just never not out of the realm of possibility with these guys. Wasn't this where didn't Jim Furyk shoot 59 at the Wells Fargo when he shot 59?
I think so. Well, I mean, last year you had a 63 out of Wyndham in round 3, which is pretty much what got him there. And then Xander went 64. So like those were the 2 low rounds.
Yeah, Xander Schauffele ever going to win a major?
That's not the discussion this week, Cam.
Yeah.
Every time I hear his name, I'm reminded by like this one clip where I heard an announcer say he's built for majors, and then he just doesn't win majors.
Yeah, he just doesn't win them.
He won the Olympics, right?
Great, wonderful.
You're considering that a major now, Teddy?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
He won something that was of somewhat importance.
Hey, so did Matt Kuchar.
Valid.
Kuchar's got a Hall of Fame career. Anyways,
Hey, shout out Olympics Paris 2024.
Yeah.
Somebody at
If you need some media, like influencers to cover
credentials,
Cam's got you. Yeah. All right. So what's the order of who gets to pick first?
So I
So
believe
you,
it would.
Right?
I think you and I tied.
Okay.
We each had 2. So I picked first on the cut line. Why don't you pick the winner first?
Okay.
We'll do winner next and then dead last.
Yep, winner. So
Okay.
I seem to not be able to go away from this, even though I'm not 100% sure I want it. But Wyndham Clark, I'm
I
taking
thought I
it.
was gonna say Adam Scott again.
Yeah, I'm going with Wyndham.
All right, so Justin's tiptoeing on out to the thinnest branch he could find with Wyndham Clark.
I like his game. I like watching Wyndham Clark play golf.
Respect. Put it in the spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Who you taking, Cam? Cam hasn't even figured it out yet.
I'm gonna go on an even thinner branch.
Here we go.
Rory McIlroy.
Oh, I knew you were gonna take that.
Taking it down.
All right, lousy hair. You've been sitting on this pick for the longest time.
So I'm actually, I've been bouncing back and forth. Again, breaking news, Aberg is out. I've been between Morikawa and Patrick Cantlay. They both have been somewhat struggling, but I feel like week before the major, obviously this place, Cantlay has played out pretty well. I think it sort of fits Morikawa's game. Got to keep it in the fairway. He can hit a nice little cut. So I'm actually going to go with Colin. I think he's going to get it done this week, and then it's going to ruin his chances to win at Valhalla.
Okay.
Listen, I'm on the field right now. I don't see Colin Morikawa. Am I just missing him? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, you're for sure missing him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm pretty sure he's in there somewhere.
all right, so Justin, Wyndham, lousy hair Colin, Cameron, we've got Rory.
Yes.
So here's the best part. We get to pick who fails the worst.
Yeah.
I guess fails the best if you're dead last, like you were the best at
Fails. Yeah, the best.
Yeah.
All right.
You're up, Cam.
I know. I'm looking. All right. I'm going to go with, I hate to do it. I would have said I hate to do it for anybody. I'm going to go dead last.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Somebody at the timer.
Yeah.
Dead last, we're going with, I don't know who. We're gonna go Seamus Power, dead last.
Okay.
Really?
I saw his name.
Okay.
I picked two Irish people, so
All right.
Fair. Fair point.
That kind of works. I don't know if I love this pick, but I'm looking at like cuts made, and I'm really hoping that he's kind of following suit with what he's been doing. But I think Kevin Tway.
that was Teddy's strategy last week, and
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Didn't
hard
work
to do
out.
it in this one because it's like everyone's a pretty solid player. All right,
Justin,
Lousy.
may the odds be ever in your favor. All right, pal.
Yeah.
Lousy, who are you taking dead last?
So between two guys, don't really like either of them. I'm gonna go Gary Woodland.
Oh man, I was really close to picking him.
Yeah,
But I really like Gary Woodland as like person and a golfer, and I want him to actually play better.
Want him to bounce back,
Yeah,
figure it out.
Mhm.
I
especially
just
after
think
the brain surgery.
yes, that does play a factor in my decision to pick him. I think he's still trying to figure it out. I think he can get squirrely with the driver, and I feel pretty good that he's either going to come in dead last or he's going to finish top 5. So Gary Woodland.
He's going to be on one end of the spectrum or the other.
Yeah.
So you're putting some money on DraftKings for a top 5
I was going to say, if
finish.
anybody wants to take anything away from tonight's podcast, it's to put a couple bucks on Gary Woodland outright winner or top 10.
Top 10. Gosh, yeah.
Because I'm picking him to finish DFL. So
Yeah.
So those are our picks. So we got Justin with Wyndham as the winner, even par as the cut line, and then dead last Kevin Tway. Teddy, we've got the winner being Colin Morikawa, cut line at 1 under, and your dead last to be Gary Woodland. I have Rory as the outright winner, 3 under par as the cut line, and my dead last is Seamus Power, fellow Irishman, to Rory McIlroy. Is it in the spreadsheet, Justin?
It is. Like Lousy Hair is typing up a storm when he doesn't have, what is it?
I bet
Cutwater or
Teddy.
something in him?
I bet Teddy
Good to
is
go.
very well versed in Excel.
I'm pretty good with Excel. Yeah.
I was gonna say
He
I'm
looks
pretty sure,
like an Excel guy.
pretty sure he can run the pivot tables a little bit better than us.
I got to use it all day, every day. So yeah, pretty good.
For our job, Justin, they try and like show us how to do things in Excel. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just
Yeah, I actually just hired someone that was better at Excel. That was one of the questions that I asked. I said, how would you describe like your vision for PowerPoint? And I remember the answer, and I was like, all right. And what do you think about Excel? And the answer was, oh, well, like I love it. My dad's taught me everything about it. I was like, offer letter, let's go.
We found him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mess with that. Teddy's the Excel guy on the podcast. You're going to be wearing a lot of hats here, Teddy. So just, get a rack.
So I got to cover my hair now.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Just get ready for that.
The hair looks great, by the way. I wore a hat tonight.
Thanks, man.
It's bear season. Like, it's our year. Caleb Williams, we're going to win 1 million football games, probably 17 Super Bowls.
I'm ready for the week 5 depression that Cam comes into when he realizes that
I don't even think it's going to take 5
it's
weeks.
still the Bears, and he's like, we haven't won a single game.
Yeah.
Hey guys, can't podcast tonight. Caleb Williams threw 4 interceptions. Sorry.
I'm just in the fetal position under my desk, still crying from Sunday afternoon.
Teddy, do you have an NFL team you like follow?
I mean, not as like a super fan or anything. Obviously, I'm in Jacksonville now, so I like the Jaguars. Watch them a lot. I was born in Tampa, so been to a couple Bucs games. But I just appreciate good football when it comes to the NFL. I'm more of a Saturday and fall sort of guy, and watching my Gators, or at least being there. drinking in a box. So
Yeah, making sure you don't actually remember the game. Got it.
correct.
Justin, do you have a an NFL team? I think I asked you this, but
It's my entire family 49ers. Like I
okay.
didn't even have a choice growing up. The garage of the family home had Ronnie Lott, Ricky Waters, Joe Montana posters everywhere. I mean, being left-handed, I love Steve Young, so
Yep.
it just kind of
You're
fell into it.
I keep forgetting you're left-handed, dude.
Hey, yeah, we're actually ending the podcast as a whole
Yeah,
because
that was
Justin's
good.
still left-handed.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Good-
this is the
good
last
3-week
episode of the
run.
Great Bogey
Yeah.
podcast because of Justin. So
It's not too far off.
Hey, that being said, Justin, the first podcast I was ever on was a buddy of mine. Pretty much my brother is what I call him, but he's a Niners fan, and we did a Super Bowl kind of preview and then a Super Bowl recap. Two very different moods from him on those two podcasts. But that is, yeah. I like the Niners, as a historic team, like they're a winning franchise, right?
Yeah.
But it's been tough sledding for him, Joe, just with being right there. We'll see if Brock Purdy's the guy. I don't know if he is, but
I would like to think so. But we're also looking. I mean, Brock Purdy's still young. Like he's
still on his rookie deal.
Yeah, I mean it's not like he's been around for 5-10 years like some of these other like journeyman quarterbacks that are no names. Like he still has some time to grow and like to actually turn into something really good. I think he's got some pretty good fight in him. So
possibly we'll find out. I'm excited for football season, especially with the Bears' new kind of offense. Caleb Williams, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, Rome Adunes. I definitely bought a Caleb Williams jersey on draft night. No big deal, but I really hope it doesn't. I hope it works out.
Why you
just
painted your nails pink too after that, right?
Yeah, I had to remove it for a work meeting in person, but yeah, I had "bear down" written in pink on my nails.
Just in solidarity.
Yeah. All right, we got the football talk out of the way on a golf podcast. Did we have anything else on the agenda, Justin? I know you're the organization guy, so.
No, I think that's pretty good. We talked about our favorite golf events. Went and got our picks. I know that you and I are tied right now, and I'm really hoping that at the end of the season, I get like a nice bottle of bourbon for winning this entire thing. So
I just want to go ahead and say it was week one. We're going to learn from this. We're going to get better.
Winners just win.
I feel comfortable with my picks this week, and yeah, I have.
If we're doing closings, sorry, Teddy, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I have no problem being in last right now because this will be the first and last time that you see me in third place.
I would like to make it known too, as my closing statement on the pick thing. I just picked a guy because he was also Irish to the guy I picked to win. So it comes naturally to me is what I'm saying. Sorry, you guys just stand zero chance at
get
this
last
point.
place.
Hate against Irish people? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where you're going with this natural
winning.
selection.
It's just easy to pick. All right.
Says the guy.
I also have some disdain for the Irish because of the wars and stuff, the violence, the Civil War they got going on and stuff.
What are we doing?
All right. So on that, we'll
real quick, guys, make sure you're liking, subscribing, and following Great Bogey Podcast on YouTube and Spotify. We're also on X. That being said, I wanted to make mention, we're not going to release the name, but it looks like Justin, Teddy, and I have come up with a new brand name as a threesome here, a trio. We're going to be working on new branding. Hopefully, release that, I'd say, in the next month. But make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing with all your friends, your pals, and I guess we'll talk to you in a few days. All right.